Hey guys, Dr. Decks here. Today we're going to talk about the current project that we're on. I know that you guys have seen in some of the backgrounds of some of our other videos what's going on around here, but I don't think we've really given you an up-to-date part of what we're building, which is quite incredible. We've been here for 3.5 months, almost 4 months. I wanted to just go through and kind of let you know where we're at with it. So this particular deck is quite large. It's like 1,800 square feet. The house was built on piles back in the 1980s. So these are like legitimate telephone pole style piles. So when they built the house, they also drove the piles for the deck. So we decided to reuse these because almost all of them were in good shape. We had one that had a little bit of a soft top, but we did some rot repair on it. And then we have completely sealed the tops of all of these. And we also ran a waterproof bladder over the tops of these so that they no longer will ever see water ever again. Some of the beams were also in good shape. So we kept some beams and then other beams we replaced with pressure treated glue lamps. So they don't look pressure treated, but they are. They have a special stamp on the top, which you really can't see, but they are much more expensive than a standard glue lamp is, but they work really well for the exteriors of the Pacific Northwest. So anywhere where we put in new beams, we replace them with pressure treated glue lamps. We had a lot of house prep on this particular project. We spent an extra week just on prepping the house. We had a lot of joists to cut back and flush out to the house, and then we had to put waterproof membrane tape on all that before we could install our new ledgers, which is all done in aluminum. So if you look up here, you can see that all of the joists of this deck are all aluminum joists. So it's a company called Outdoor. It's from Australia, and we used a 2x8 system and all their clips and all the stuff that goes with it. You can search Outdoor on our channel and you can probably find some other videos of that product. So once we kind of figured out where the beams needed to go, which ones needed to be replaced, we had to change some of the elevation. So we had to put special 4x4s, which were a true 4-inch 4x4 on top of the beam, because the old deck had a 2x12. And we scrunched it down to basically a 2x8, about 7 1/8 inches thick. So we ran those joists 12 inches on center so that we could catch a nice beam span from the house to, we're going about 13 feet is probably our longest span. So not a super long beam span, but we got all that framed in. It's 4 different levels on this deck. Each one has a door exiting on any particular, except for one level. So 3 levels have doors exiting, 1 does not. And when they built the house, they had a really high rise in between levels inside the house. So we had to kind of deal with that as well, and doing the same thing, which we have 7 3/4 to an 8-inch rise on our steps, which I'm not used to that. But that's what had to be done here. I went inside the home, measured the height of the stairs, and it's 7 3/4. I'm like, oh, okay, I get it now. And that's just because that's where the door height is on all these different levels of the deck. So we really had to do the same thing. So all of our staircases that we're building are made of either Outdoor or a product made by Owens Corning that is a structural lumber. They now have a structural 2x12 that we use to cut out for our stair stringers, so that all of our stair stringers will never rot. They're structural, they won't decay, and they're really stable. I'm so impressed with this product that I probably will never use a wooden stair stringer again for the rest of my career. Let's go ahead and go upstairs and I'll show you some of the features of the deck. So as we come up towards the top of this deck, you can see that those are the stair stringers made out of the Owens Corning. I love the color. I like black, and it matches our Outdoor framing as well. So we have Outdoor joists in black, and then we have the Owens Corning stair stringers in black as well. And those are about 10 1/2 inches on center or so. Now, one thing we do is we also run a solid kicker on every stringer so that it locks everything together. It makes the staircase a lot heavier to install, but it really solidifies the entire staircase. Things don't come apart. One thing I love about this product is a lot of times these right here will break, and that's often a problem that we have with wooden stair stringers. We also use some Owens Corning structural 6x6s to support the center of the staircase so that it doesn't wobble or move back and forth. So it's a very stable set of stairs. But let's go look at the top side of it. You'll also see that we have a folded corner set up here where we have a piece of AZEK, TimberTech AZEK, that we folded the corner and then we put an expansion and contraction joint further in on the edge so that these miters will never separate. And then we use the full deck board thickness here. And then on this piece, we use a piece of their stair riser, so it's a little bit thinner, so it has a nice shadow line on it. And then we kind of halved the distance so it has a nice corner look to it, nice effect. And then the expansion and contraction happens here instead of right here. So that's just the way we decided to do it. I really like the way it looks, and it's gonna function. It's very functional. It's gonna work well for the future. All right, so now we're up on top of the deck, and I told you I was gonna show you those stairs. These all the stairs we're building are all the same. So they're basically 2 standard deck boards wide with a similar wrap on the front with the same double step fascia look that we have on the other side of the deck. So all the decks have a surface border, a multi-width surface border. So the surface borders are all 7 1/4 inches. And there's a very unique pattern in this deck. It's all TimberTech AZEK, all color is coastline, and it goes from a multi-width board to a narrow width board. So it's 7 1/4, 3 1/2, 7 1/4, 3 1/2, and so on and so forth throughout the entire deck. So it just gives it a really unique look in the pattern. And then we also added some of the stair riser skirting on the side right here to kind of clean this area up. We just thought it would look really nice if we kind of plug this area in right here, because there was a lot going on that I really didn't like the looks of. And we're gonna do that again over here. All right, so here's the section of the deck that we're still working on. We have a set of curved stairs, and then this set of stairs flares out into a curved bench, and then it's gonna be skirted off in the same fashion as the other staircase and right behind these surface borders. So we haven't finished these yet because we're currently working on this bench, which is gonna have a tilt back on it as well. So this bench is going in next. We have to finish some of the stair treads and tie them in over here. And then once these are laid, then we can add the tilt back this way, and then we can finish the top rail. We gotta put all the back boards and the front boards on, and then we're gonna take this top rail and it's gonna come over and dive off into this corner, and then we'll fill this bench in over here. So this all comes off at the same height. So there's a lot going on right here in this space. There's also gonna be a fire pit right here, and then a whole bunch of inlight lighting going in all over the place in this area and on all the stairs. So this is the lowest of the 4 decks, and you can kind of see the flow that we have here. So the client wanted multiple levels, multiple places to sit. They entertain a lot, and we also put in some support for a couple large umbrellas. So it gets really windy here on the water. So we have a couple of those to install still, and then all the railing still has to be installed as well. That's being fabricated by a company called AGS Stainless on Bainbridge Island, and we'll be doing some features on that as well as we get that product delivered. So that's being fabricated at the moment, so I'm still kind of waiting on that, but it still gives us plenty of time to get all this other stuff buttoned up in preparation of the rail. We have all the rail supports in already, so that's ready to go. So most of my efforts are consumed in this space right here. You can kind of follow along on our social media channels as well, or our Instagram channel and our YouTube shorts as well. So there's some other avenues if you want to catch some more footage besides what you're seeing today. All right, so this is probably the biggest area of the deck. It's the most entertaining space that they have. So this is a nice area for tables and chairs and dining and all that good stuff. We did a waterfall, cascading waterfall edge right where this surface break is. It just kind of flows right over the edge of the deck, and then all the fascia and everything kind of butts into it. So this is gonna be probably their main entertaining space right here, besides this really cool curved bench and fire pit and all that. And then something we added to this deck that wasn't here before that the client requested was an additional set of stairs coming downstairs to where they have a storage area and a garden area where they can come down and have access to all that stuff. So this again is all framed in Owens Corning and then capped off in TimberTech AZEK. Everything matches, and we have the nice side fascias on this staircase, and then everything butts into it. It's all filed off and rasped and looking really good. So there's your update on this particular build. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and that bell icon to be notified when we're putting out new content. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.